What's going on, guys? Lon here from Android Authority, and the Note series has become one of Samsung's most popular line of smartphones, and we've got the latest one in the house. This is your unboxing and first impressions of the brand new Samsung Galaxy Note 5. So the first thing you're going to notice with the box is it looks just like the Samsung Galaxy S6 box. So they've completely done away with those fake wood boxes from before, and now you just have a clean white box with the Galaxy Note 5 branding on the front in big bold letters and some callouts on the rear for the specs, which we'll go over in a second. Opening the box, you'll be greeted immediately by the Note 5 wrapped in a plastic sleeve. But before we get into all of that, let's take a look at what else you get inside the box. Underneath is a quick start guide for getting started quickly that you can choose to read if you want, but most likely you probably won't. Next, you have your SIM removal tool that's attached to a plastic tray, and below that tray are the rest of the goodies. You have your standard micro USB cable, a wall adapter, extra replacement tips for the S Pen along with a removal tool, and some very nicely packaged Samsung earbuds, and that's pretty much it. Of course, what you all want to see is the Note 5, and as you can see, the one that I have here is the gold platinum version, and I have to admit, I really like the way the gold looks on the Note 5. I think it looks pretty sleek. The big story here, however, is the change in design, and the Note 5 basically follows in the footsteps of the S6 with a combination of metal and glass, so no longer is the back removable, which takes away the ability to swap batteries, and the battery on the Note 5 actually got a little bit smaller at 3000 milliamp hours from the 3220 milliamp hour battery on last year's Note 4. The phone does feel very nice in the hand though, and for a 5.7-inch smartphone, it doesn't feel extremely big in the hand. A lot of that has to do with how much Samsung has slimmed down the bezels on the Note 5, and it's practically smaller than the Note 4 in every dimension. The curves along the sides of the back make the phone very comfortable to hold, but it is a little bit slippery and attracts fingerprints very easily due to the glass and metal design, but overall I'm in love with the look and the feel of the Note 5. I think Samsung did a really fantastic job. Going around the device, you've got your power button on the right, volume rockers on the left, the SIM card tray on the top, but one thing you'll notice is there's no IR blaster anymore, so you won't be able to use the Note 5 to control your TV or other peripherals. On the bottom is the 3.5mm headphone jack, micro USB port, a speaker, and of course the S Pen, which we'll get into in a sec. Continuing onto the back, there's a 16 megapixel camera along with the heart rate sensor, and it's the same camera sensor from the S6, so you can probably already expect some really great quality photos from the Note 5. Finally, on the front, of course, you have the standard Samsung home button, which also doubles as a fingerprint scanner. Just to recap some of the internal specs, you have the Exynos 7420, which is also the same as the S6, but the Note 5 features 4 gigs of RAM instead of 3, so performance should be just as good as the S6, if not a little bit better due to that extra gig of memory. Speaking of memory, the Note 5 comes in 32 or 64 gigabyte versions with no micro SD card expansion, another feature that has been taken away in the Note line. The display measures in at 5.7 inches with the same Quad HD resolution, and it's an AMOLED screen just like last year's Note 4, and the screen looks absolutely amazing. Not exactly sure how Samsung does it, but the screens on their smartphones seem to just get better and better every year, and the Note 5 screen is easily one of the best that I've seen on any smartphone. Jumping back to the S Pen, it's been improved in a lot of ways, both on a hardware and software level. The S Pen ejects out of the silo now, which I really like, and it's cool and fun to do, but in a way it makes getting the S Pen out a little slower because there's that additional step of having to eject the pen first before pulling it out. A step that you didn't have to do before on the prior Note models, but the new clicky top to the S Pen makes it feel more like a real pen, so I do enjoy that quite a bit. You still have air commands to create memos, write on the screen, and take notes just like before, but now you have the ability to add a couple of app shortcuts, which I think is really useful, and the new screen off memo is also a very handy feature when you need to quickly jot something down, and the cool thing about it is it'll automatically save the note for you once you reinsert the S Pen. But that is really it, guys, for this quick unboxing and first impressions. Josh will be doing the review of the Note 5, so make sure you stay tuned for that, and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out when it goes live. And don't forget to check out the website as well for more in-depth coverage, because we are your source for all things Android.